say our efforts are booming right now, and our numbers are growing. So there's every reason in the world that we can win this, but it will not be easy. I think that we're all going to have tougher times. If we came to our senses and we had the right people in Washington, we wanted that transition, believe me, we could. We could have transitions away from government medicine into private medicine. We could have a transition away from the post office delivering the mail by merely legalizing first-class mail and come up with competition. We could have even competition with the Federal Reserve by, being really radical and legalize the Constitution and say gold and silver could be legal tender. Federal Reserve, we don't need to argue the case and fuss about, yes, if we had the authority, we would close the Fed down tomorrow. We don't need to worry because if they had competition, they'd close themselves down in a few years. And that's what we need. We need the freedom of choice and the competition and transition. But unfortunately, it's not going to come. I think we're going to have more financial trouble down the road. I think it's going to be in the form of a dollar crisis. And a dollar crisis is a lot worse than a financial structure collapsing and you being forced to buy up bad assets. And yet, that is likely to happen. A dollar crisis means the people lose trust in the dollar. The dollar does not deserve trust right now. It's a paper currency. It's backed by nothing other than the promises of the politicians. Their promises aren't believable because all they can do is spend money and print more money. So the dollar crisis, when it comes, interest rates will go on up. And prices are going to rise, and we will not be able to afford it. Even today, one of the major problems we have in medicine is inflation, and very few people talk about the inflated prices. Inflation because there's too many dollars out there, and we channel dollars in that direction. So it's already there. People ask me, they're worried about whether Bernanke can get out of this situation without having inflation. I said, well, how's that the case? He's already inflated. He's already doubled the money supply. This inflation is there. We're already suffering from that. But you're worried about when it's going to cause a lot of prices to go up. And I said, yeah, and that's going to happen. But you can't predict when that's going to happen. You can't predict exactly. But ultimately, they're going to print more money. They're not going to back off. And you're going to see prices go up, and there's no way the government's going to be able to keep up. And when this happens, even now, because of what Congress has done in this crisis in the last year, there's always a shortage of money. There's always a shortage of money. This was deflationary pressures on the financial market, shortage of money. So we'll just jam more money in. In inflation, that's exactly what they see. When the price is going up, oh, we have a shortage of money. So the people need more money, and just compounding the problem. And that can come anytime, and the speed usually is more rapid at the end. And whether it comes this year, next, or on, I think we should expect it. So what we need to do is understand ourselves, do our very best to protect ourselves personally, but we also need to protect ourselves in the form of protecting our liberties and being involved and engaged. Each and every one of us have a responsibility. A lot of times people ask exactly which I do to now, to preserve our liberties. You have to do whatever is necessary. First thing is seek out the truth. Learn the best you can about explaining these issues. Learn how free market economics work. Figure out about our history and the good parts of it. And believe me, you'll be used. Somebody will need you, even if it's only yourself. I never thought I would be talking to a crowd like this. When I first ran for office, I wanted to get a little bit off my chest, and I wanted to. We were moving into the crisis coming from the inflation and the spending of the 60s. And I had a very nice medical practice, and I love medicine. One of the major reasons why I went back into medicine after being in conference. Well, when I told my wife I was going to do this, she never had paid much attention to my interest in Austrian economics. She said, what do you want to do this for? And I said, well, I want to just talk about economics. It was 1974. Who would want to run as a Republican in 1974 in a state where in Texas there were only 3 Republicans and the seat never had a Republican? So I said, oh yeah, I'm going to run. She said, why? I just want to get these things off my chest. She said, what? She said, she should do this because it's dangerous to run. And I said, why could it be dangerous? This is about economics. And she said, you could end up getting elected. And I said, yeah, but I'm not going to play Santa Claus. I'm not going to play this role. And so I was even surprised back then, but I'm even more surprised now, more pleased than ever. I know a lot of you give me compliments and say, oh, you really encouraged me and helped me and got me excited about this. But the real excitement comes from you because I know there's so many of you and our numbers are growing. So I get my energy from you and I thank you very much for being here.